Greetings everyone, DFG here, Gideon's Flight. Hey guys, if you follow this channel on a regular basis, you know that from time to time, I will go to the book and just share some of our historical facts, with my brother, sister, Hebrew Israelites. Because many of us, unfortunately, were not brought up, reading the scripture. That was not something we were told that we had to do. We were pretty much systematically brought through the religious system or the church system. They're having someone else dictate the word to us, or while we sat and listened to what they had to say and their explanations for that, without them challenging us. Really, not only should they have challenged us, this should have been a demand that that we were instructed to study the word, as the Most High told us in the book of Joshua chapter 1, that it should be put it on the post, of our homes, day and night, talking about, the law of Yahuwah, and his commandments. And again, so that didn't happen for many of us, it didn't happen for me. I took upon this unction to do it, when I was in my early 20s, and, Yahuwah, pretty much gave me an ultimatum. It was either, you stop what you're doing, and learn of me, learn this word, or you're not gonna live too long. Excuse my poor English there, but I wasn't gonna live very long. That's what he told me. He gave me like 3 or 4 years, to continue the path that I had taken, that I was currently taking or attempting to take, or the option to stop and come back this way. And from that day to this day, the book, has never been far from me. But I was ignorant. I thought I was reading about somebody else. I really did. Like, I thought we were spiritual Jews. Like somewhere in the New Testament says. We were the Gentiles, and somehow or another, some spirit Jew thing was supposed to come into us, and we became the spiritual Jew, which, now that I look back on it, it sounds like some kind of hocus pocus. No disrespect to the writer who wrote that, but, we're the people of the Most High. I don't know about any spiritual people of the Most High. The Most High Spirit dwells inside of, inside of us, because that Spirit came from him. He said that from the day of creation with Adam. He breathed a breath of life into Adam, and Adam became a living soul. Yahuwah put his breath, or his spirit of being, inside of our, Adam, the first man. And then it continued on, from there, in terms of creation is concerned. Again, everything that's walking on 2 feet that professes to be human is not human. And many of us are going to find that out in the next life, that a lot of people we assume were human beings, and they were some abbreviation of a human being. Just like you have in the primate community, you have monkeys, you have chimpanzees, you have orangutans, etc. They all are not the same species, but they're all primates, but they're different types of primates. They're different types of so-called human beings. But there's only one, man. All right? And that man comes right through the bloodline to this bloodline that you're dealing with, today. At least the Hebrew Israelite is the bloodline. We are the chosen of the Most High. Ignorantly so, but we still are them. And I used to think that, again, it was talking about somebody else, like many of you guys still are thinking that way. A lot of people today celebrated, the pagan sun god day of, the day of fertilization, Esther. They call it Easter, and they because that's something that, again, that was promoted through paganism, through Catholicism, through, to Greek mythology, to false gods, through Kemet and all the rest of these places, and ISIS, etc. And this is where they ended up with, rabbits, laying eggs, which makes absolutely no sense in a Passover or a resurrection, a 3-day resurrection that they celebrate in a day and a half. It makes no sense, but, I digress. But again, if you follow this channel, then there are going to be times I'm going to the book and I'm going to be sharing. So if you don't want to hear what I'm about to share, then it's probably time to cut the video off. But it is last day prophecy that I'm going to read to you from, just to give you some perspective. Because again, some of you guys may have never read this before. So if you have your Bible, it's Matthew 24 that I'm going to be reading from. If you don't have your Bible, then you can listen to me read it, and I'll give a little commentary, not a lot, because a lot of it is self-explanatory. But as I get into this, I want you to be thinking, or as you're listening, if you choose to follow along with me, I hope you do, think of the time that we're in with everything that's going on right now, and think about what was prophesied by Yeshua 2,000 plus years ago, that is written in our history book for this generation of our people to understand what we will be dealing with. He's going to even go as far as to say that he's going to shorten man's days because the wickedness is going to be so strong in the land. Now, hopefully that's enough to keep you listening till I'm done. It's one chapter. It'll probably take, a few minutes. I'll give a little commentary and then, be done. All right? But this is food for, for the blessed of the Most High, and for anyone else, or the children of the Most High, and anyone else who wants to give an ear to it, and as a man and the high priest of my household, or anywhere that I have been given the promotion to be, because all promotions come from Yeshua. That's where it comes from. Read your scripture. It'll tell you that. Promotion don't come from the east or the west. It comes from above, from the Most High. So anyone that's in leadership, if he's giving you leadership responsibilities, genuine leadership, and you're demonstrating leadership, not some tyrannical, I'm the boss, do what I say, don't do as I say, not as I do, not that kind of manager, boss kind of deal. I'm talking about leadership that's about servant leadership. Him that will be the greatest among you, let him be the servant of all. I'm talking about that type of leadership comes from him. And so this covering and this responsibility that has befallen me and many others, I fully accept and understand the accountability that goes along with it. All right? So this information is for me and for you. But for you, if you've never read it before or heard it before, let's go. Let's have what we call, let's break bread together. Matthew 24. And Yeshua went out and departed from the temple, and his disciples came to him for him to show them the building of the temple. And Yeshua said unto them, see you all these things? I say unto you that shall not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. And he sat upon the Mount of Olives, and the disciples came to him privately. In other words, they came to him. They didn't want nobody to hear what they were asking him. And they said, hey, tell us when shall all these things be, and the end of the world. Because he had apparently there were other conversations that were going on leading up to this particular conversation around end time prophecy. And they wanted to know, okay, well, if this thing is going to end, then tell us how, so at least we have some kind of understanding when it comes, we might know, okay? Of course, he was forecasting thousands of years ahead of them, but they didn't realize that at that particular time, okay? Let me continue on. Let's go farther. And Yeshua answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am the Messiah, and shall deceive many. Many of these preachers, churches, religions out here now, telling everybody, that they're called, and this is the place you're supposed to be, and Easter, there's nothing wrong with it, it's Resurrection Day, and all this other stuff that they add. Just because you put lipstick on a pig, don't make it not a pig. It's still a pig. You celebrating Easter if you celebrate it today, okay? And you tied it into the sure. That was an abominable act that you did, and hopefully you won't do that again next year, all right? Just so you know. I'm sure the mercy of the Most High will forgive you if you truly seek forgiveness out of ignorance. But if you do it, as the book of Hebrews says, if you sin willfully after the knowledge of the truth, there is no forgiveness for you. So if you know it's paganistic and you're still doing it because you're changing the name of it, then you're sinning willfully, okay? And now that you know, we'll see what happens next time. At least you will, all right? And you shall hear wars and rumors of wars. Remember, this is the last day. They wanted to know when they were going to be returned of Yeshua. That's the question that they're asking. So keep in mind, as I share, he's answering the question, when will he return back to the earth? That's the question. They want to know, when is he coming back? All right, and a lot of you guys, believers, what you want to know, when is he coming back? I'll be glad when this is over with. I'm ready for this to end. Okay, they were asking the question. This is what he told them, so that you know too, so you can get an answer to your question. Let me get on to the rest of this. Okay, all right. But nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines, which is disease, which is starvation, pestilence, which is diseases, earthquakes in many places. And these are the beginnings of sorrows. See, we're in the beginnings of the sorrows right now. It's just starting right now. This coronavirus, the economic fallout, the homosexual agenda, the Planned Parenthood agenda, all these things, that's the beginning. These things got us to here. All those things got us to this point. This is, it is the judgment. All right. All that stuff led to this. The scripture says, as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be, at the coming of man. All the stuff they were doing in Noah was a lot of things in Noah's day, before the great flood, or a lot of the same things they were doing right here, right now. Same stuff. All right? And he said those things would have to show themselves, and then the end would be coming. The days of sorrow, as he says here. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and you shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. What name's sake? The Hebrew name. The Israelite name. That's what he's saying. You will be persecuted and hated for that. And yes, you can see they're starting already to come out against us because we're coming into the knowledge of who we are. And they're hating us because we're saying that we are the tribes of Israel. And they hate us for it because they have been lying to us for generations about the damn Jews over there in Jerusalem and all over the country and the world, that they were the chosen people. That's a lie. Those people they're from I think Khazarian. You know what I'm saying? Khazarian, somewhere around the Ukraine area. That's where these people are from. These are Europeans who are professing to be the people of the Most High, and they're not. All right, just so you know. And you can do your own research. Khazar, I think is where they're from. Khazarian. Anyway, and there shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. And we can definitely see that going on. And many false prophets shall rise. The T.D. Jakes, the Creflo Dollars, the Benny Hinn's of the world, the Joe Osteens, you know what I'm saying? The Paula Whites. I mean, I can go on and on and on and on. The Paul Martins, all of these guys. We all see their behavior. Pushing all kind of agendas, government agents, government telling them what to do, how to do it, taking money under the table behind your back, and still coming back, robbing the poor, you know what I'm saying, to enrich themselves. The Kenneth Copelands of the world, corporate jets, and saying he don't want to fly on commercial, he don't want to fly with devils. All of these false prophets that he's talking about. And these mega churches and many mega churches and these little 5 congregate churches too, because they're in there preaching the same lie too. They're taking that 501c tax, exemption, so that they don't have to pay tax. They can keep all of that money for themselves that they're getting, or use it for anything other than what they should be using it for, and that is to give and help the poor, so that the gospel will be preached to all of our people, so that we will come into the knowledge of who we are. And they won't preach that today in many of these churches, that you and I are the people of the Most High, the so-called Negro, African-American, here on Turtle Island. They refuse, even to this day. I'm talking about these preachers, these local preachers won't preach it. They're no different than these mega preachers and all these other religions who continue to push that lie that the people of the Most High are pale-skinned people. Ridiculous. There's nothing in this book that describes his people that way. Many scriptures describe his people as brown, and et cetera, et cetera. Go read it for yourself. I'm not going to try to convince you. If you don't want to be convinced, you know what I'm saying? If you need to be convinced, you go somewhere else. Go to another channel. I don't have to convince you of the truth. Why do I have to prove the truth to you? The truth speaks for itself. All right? And because of the transgression of the Torah, of the word, shall abound, and the love of many shall wax cold. So in other words, this I love you, I love you, I love you, until something goes wrong. Then all of a sudden that love turns to hate instantaneously, because it never was love. You follow me? It was some perversion, and that they profess to be love. That word love should be used very delicately. And we just throw it around and put it onto anything we want to put it onto. The ultimate sandwich spread. The way we use it. But this love is the real deal. And he said that love would be wax cold. In other words, it'd be hard to find genuine love in this day and time. Many people are telling you, many people are telling me, many people are telling each other about a love, but there's no sacrifice. Without the sacrifice, there could not be any love. Are you willing to sacrifice ultimately your life for somebody? Because that's what true love looks like. Because that's what the Messiah did. He so loved the world, he gave his only begotten son. So are you willing to die for that love you spewing out your mouth for somebody else? Hell, most of you guys die. You won't even take a punch or a slap or a setback, or, you know what I'm saying, or a disappointment, a letdown, let alone when you put your life on the line for them. First time you lovers, somebody does something that hurts your feeling, you scrap that love like it's a piece of damn, I don't know, I guess manure out of a chitlin skin. You running so fast, away from your so-called love. And I'm telling the truth. Many of you, not all of you, some of you will die for it. You'll stand to the end. You won't do any injustice. You're going to love till the day you die. But a lot of you, you know what I'm saying? Enough of that. Digress again. But he that endures to the end, the same shall be saved. So in other words, him that does not change, that holds his position to the end, they're going to be saved. And this and of the kingdom, and the word of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness to all the nations, and then the end shall come. See, a lot of people think the word is preached for salvation. The word is being preached, so that people can come to, to Jesus. We know that's Yeshua, not Caesar Bulgaria. But that's not what the scripture is saying. The scripture is not saying for you to be saved. He says it's going to be as a witness. You heard it. That's all it is. It's a witness. You were told. He doesn't care if you come or don't come. That's your decision. That is your decision. It's saying right here, as a witness. So all of those atheists, unbelievers, I don't believe in the, that's fine. You don't have to. And I, for one, I could care less if you do, personally. I love you if you do, in an agape way. It's my brother or my sister, a philia way in the faith. And if you're Hebrew Israelite, I love you even more because you're family. But if you reject it or you hate it, you don't have nothing to do with it. What the hell that got to do with me? I care less. I don't want your tithes and offerings. So I'm not your preacher, man. I'm not him. I'm led by the Most High to do this. I ain't led by your money and your favor. It says, when therefore you shall see the abomination of desolation spoken by Daniel the prophet, standing in the holy place, then let him which is in the mountains flee. He that's in the city flee into the mountains. That's where people going into these camps. These are prepper people. They're getting out of Dodge. They're coming out of these cities and getting into small communities because they know what's coming. Many of them. They know that, the poop about to hit the fan. That's why they're running, getting out of these cities. If you're smart, you'll be having a plan. We talked about this before, to get out. This is what he says is going to happen. He said, let him which is on the housetop not come down and take anything out of his house. Or don't worry about material things. Don't let material things stop you from getting out of Dodge and going where you got to go to get away from this mayhem, this chaos, and this wickedness that's coming. Don't be a part of it. That's what he's saying. When he said, I'm going to say it again. Let him which is on the housetop not come down and take anything out of his house. He's telling you, forget your material things, your cars, your house. Those things will rust and die. They can be replaced. Your soul cannot be replaced. And when they come out here and make you get indoctrinated so that you can buy and sell using this coronavirus as an excuse to justify them, putting this, whatever they're going to put into your body, trust me, my friend, you're going to wish you were gone or had left. All right? But anyway, he said, neither let him which is in the field turn back to take his clothes, as I told you. Woe unto them that are with children, and to them that have babies in those days. For we pray that your flight be not in the winter, neither on the Sabbath day. In other words, he's saying that their flight means that when you got to leave all of a sudden, you got babies and you got, infants, he's just saying it's going to be a hell of a lot tougher for you. That's what he's saying. It's going to be a hell of a lot tough. That's what he means by woe. Woe means great sorrow. But then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of this world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. And this is the one I was telling you about. He says, except those days shall be shortened, there shall no flesh be saved. You see what I'm saying? Now he's saying right now, the wicked is going to go so bad that he's going to literally shorten the days of mankind. Because if not, he said nobody would be saved. Even his own people, even we will get caught up in this mass mayhem. That's how wicked it's about to get out here. Well, the Most High is going to have to just shut the whole thing down prematurely. Because of all these things that I've mentioned, all these things you've seen and heard, you've taken the prayer out of schools, out of the court system, again, pushing every kind of horrific agenda that is an abominable act on that anything they could think of, they're pushing. I always say that, no disrespect. If you're a pet lover, I respect the fact that you have a pet. I don't have nothing against no pets. But the day I walk around and pick up dog, S-H-I-T, that'll be the day I'll never have a dog. And that's where we are now. And it's normal, too. People are hugged up. Let me stop before I get mad with a dog lover. Somebody. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No offense to your dog. Doggy. No, I want you to be loved, but I think you know what to do with your own poop without our assistance. Right, doggy? All right. That's where you go into the grass and you bury it. You know what to do. I've seen you do it before. We don't need our help because it's not clean. Couldn't help myself. Sorry. Except those days shall be shortened, there shall no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. Who is the elect? Us. In other words, he's saying, for those of us who are standing, he's not going to let us get wiped off in all these catastrophes, this famine, these pestilence, all these things. He's saying that he's not going to let that happen to us by the grace of the Most High. All right? Thank goodness. Praise his name. He says, but only for our sake. And that's why men and women who are teaching and sharing the word, you should at least say thank you. Not thanking the Most High for using us, but being grateful that we're willing to do it. Because we already know people don't want to hear this. If I was on here talking some filth or some wretchedness, I'd probably have a zillion views. But because I bring forth something that is really helpful, you know, I'm sure, you know, when I title this thing, once they read the title, they're probably going to have me and you. I guess if you're listening, if you've gotten this far. Then if any man shall say unto you, lo, here is the Messiah, or there, believe it not. For there shall arise false messiahs and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, so much that if it were possible, they would deceive the very elect. The stuff that these guys are going to do with AI, information system technology, making holograms and things showing up in the sky and all over the place, and automation here and there, to the point where it's going to be, all these things are going to be so amazing that we would be like, man, maybe these people are blessed. He said, don't be deceived. He said, all those signs and the things that they're going to be doing, he said, all that is just a thing that's marching them closer and closer to their own annihilation. That's all this technology is doing, is pushing them closer and closer to the end. That's why these days are being shortened, as you just heard me read. Okay? He said, behold, I have told you before. Wherefore, if they say to you, he is in the desert, talking about these false preachers, saying they go to this church, that's a better church. Practice this religion, that's a better religion. Whatever. He's saying, if they tell you that, that's a lie. Don't listen. He says, behold, I have told you before. Therefore, if they say unto you, behold, he is in the desert, go not forth. Behold, he is in the secret chambers, believe it not. For as lightning cometh out of the east and shines unto the west, so shall the coming of the Son of Adam be. For wherever the carcass is, there will be the eagle will be gathered together. In other words, wherever his people are, he's going to find his people. You don't have to go find him. He's going to come find you. He's going to come find me. I don't have to go look for him. He's going to come and look for me according to his word. If I'm one of the elect, if you're one of the elect. How about that for a fact, written in the book? Immediately after the tribulation of those days, so the sun shall be darkened, the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven. Sounds like some kind of horrific something going on from the skies. And the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Adam in heaven. And then shall the tribes of the earth moan, and they shall see the Son of Adam coming in the clouds of heaven with great power and great glory. And he shall send his angels with the sound of a horn, a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. Now learn the parable of the fig tree. Now this is really important. It said, when the branch is yet tender and put forth its leaves, you know that summer is near. You know that. You can tell that when the trees get in full blossom, it's almost summertime. Spring has maximized itself. So likewise, when you see all these things, know that the things that I just mentioned, all these signs we see, from the virus to the economic destruction, to the abominable acts of man, to the lack of love, to, to the tearing down of the family, tearing down, of the Most High word. He's saying when all these things happen, he said, know that the end is near, even at the door. When something at the door, the next step is the end. That's how close we are right now, guys, according to the word. He said, and I say unto you, the nation shall not pass till all these things happen. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but not anything that I just said is going to not happen as I said it would happen. That's what the word is saying. But on that day and hour knows no man, not the angels, but my Father only. But as the days of Noah were, so shall the coming of the Adam be. For in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying, getting divorced, until the day that Noah entered to the ark. And they knew not until the flood came, until it was too late, and took them and drowned them all. So shall also the coming of Adam be. Then he said, two shall be in the field, one's going to be received, the other's going to be forsaken. Two are going to be grinding in the mill, one shall be received, the other's going to be forsaken. Now he's talking about relationships. Some of the people you're with are not going to make it. Some of you are with some of other people, and you're not going to make it. Depending on whether or not you honor this word and you're keeping, to the best of your ability, the commandments. Just telling you the truth. Watch therefore, for you know not what hour that Adonai will come. But know you this, if the good man of the house had known what watch the thief would come, he would have watched and would have not suffered his house to be broken up. Therefore be you also ready. Be you ready. Be you ready. Be you ready. When all these signs that I just mentioned to you is happening, all the signs that are going around, he's telling you, stop focusing on your material things and all these other things and get yourself ready for the end time. He said, who is a faithful and wise, keyword wise, wise, W-I-S-E, a wise man, a wise woman, who his Lord had made ruler over his household to give them food in due season. It's a question. Blessed is that servant whom when the Lord comes, finding him doing so. I say unto you that he shall make him ruler of all his goods. But if that evil servant shall say in his heart, oh, I heard this before, and he goes and tells it to other people, don't believe these guys, that's what it says here, and shall begin to hang out with other non-believers, to eat and drink and with the drunks, the Lord of that servant shall come in a day when he's looking not for him in an hour he is not aware of, and then he shall cut him asunder and burn his portion with the hypocrites. And there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. It's going to be a sad day for many of them out there. Many of these people who are rejecting this truth, rejecting you, rejecting me, rejecting us, calling us a bunch of fools. Well, they ain't calling many of us fools anymore because a lot of us have been telling us that this has been coming for a long time. Now they're just confused. They don't know what to do. Now they're standing around, they're looking for somebody to feel sorry for them. Open the government back up so we can get things back to normal. It ain't coming back to normal. According to the word, it ain't coming back. It's done. There's a new normal here now. Read Revelation chapter 3, verse 10. Go read Revelation chapter 13. If you get indoctrinated, inoculated, vaccine, that you could be signing your papers to condemnation, according to the scripture. Because they're saying you're not going to be able to buy or sell unless you have your card, your vaccination card. Think about it. Revelation say that you can't buy or sell unless you have that mark. So if they make it mandatory that you can't go to work, you can't buy a car, you can't get insurance, you'll be out in public, you can't go to the markets or the stores unless you have your card. Think about it. How does this not match up with Revelation chapter 13? If anything ever matched up. And see, if I had told you this a year ago, you'd be like, what are you talking about? If I had told you that 20 years ago, oh, that's make-believe. The Bible is full of metaphors and parables, and you'd have given me all of that. But now we're here, and you know this is going to happen with these vaccines. You know that's going to happen. They're already telling you that's what they're about to do. All right, you already know that's going to happen. But that was written here thousands of years ago. Explain that. If this book is full of lies, explain that. Where I read from you, that could have been the New York Times I'm reading right now. It's the same story you read in the Washington Post that I just read to you. And this has been in the book for thousands of years. And you believe those liars, and you don't believe something that was written thousands of years ago that's coming to fruition right in your very face? My friend, if you're still a non-believer, you think that this history book is a lie, then you are being deceived. You are not wise. That's all I can say. You are not wise. You may be wise in the things of this world. I'm not saying you don't have knowledge about the things of this world, but you're not wise in terms of what's going to happen when you die. You are going to die. You're not wise about what's coming next. And it seems to me that ought to be something that at least you're thinking about it. But many of you won't think about it. I know you. You know, keep on calling us crazy. They called Noah crazy too. They called Hitler crazy. They called all these people crazy until these acts came about. Then all of a sudden, you know, it's unbelievable what they did. I could not believe they would have done something like that. Yeah, right. 2020, open your eyes.